Hello everybody, Nitsa here who just can't shut up about Persona 5 as I am now here to talk about the Confidants in Persona 5 Royal. For those who don't know, Persona 5 Royal is the extended version to the original Persona 5, which includes extra content, extra storylines, updated flaws from the vanilla game, a playable third semester with an extra palace, and so much more. Now, this is going to be a follow-up video on my top 17 best confidants in Persona 5, where this time I'm going to be focusing on the top 20 best confidants in the Royal version of Persona 5. Confidants, similar to social links from Persona 3 and 4, are social events in the real world where increasing your rank will give you experience points for fusing personas based on the arcana your confidant represents. But unlike social links, confidants will also give you certain perks and advantages to help you progress more efficiently through the game, and while most of the confidants remain the same in the Royal version from the vanilla version, there are differences which will make certain confidants a lot more useful than they were before. Now, I think I should address the three major differences between both versions before I start ranking confidants. 1. There are now 2 new characters in the game who will become confidants under the Faith and Counselor Arcana. 2. While most of the party member perks remain the same, the Baton Pass ability becomes unobtainable as it's now added to all party members from the start, even if they had just awakened to their persona. A definite huge improvement over the original. 3. Almost all confidants you interact with will have a Royal exclusive follow-up where you have a chance to deepen your bond with them more as you head back to LeBlanc for the night. So now that we got that out of the way, I should mention that even though there's 23 confidants in the game in total, Igor, Morgana, and Sainijima are confidants that rank up through story progression, so I will exclude those 3 characters as their confidant ranks are not by choice. And, just to spice up this countdown with my own Royal exclusive content, I will be given one quick tip in between every confidant I rank that will help you level up in the game more efficiently. You can think of these tips as a follow-up to the confidants. Why am I doing this? Well, if I can max out all confidants on my first playthrough and get 10 girlfriends without New Game Plus, I want to make sure that most of you can too. Also, minor spoilers ahead as I will try to keep light on story spoilers. These confidants will be ranked purely based on their perks over story. So, without further ado, let's do this follow-up countdown and talk about the top 20 best confidants in Persona 5 Royal, plus 19 useful tips.
I believe we can fly up in the sky. One day we may just be able to touch down on the star. Off the rock we have to go. The romance path we shall proceed until the end of the road. There's no turning back for us, 'cause we will never give up.
Ichiko Oya of the Devil Arcana. Probably doesn't come as a surprise that everyone's least favorite confidant in vanilla is still everyone's least favorite confidant in Royal. She is usually the number 1 confidant that everyone calls useless. In the vanilla version, you could decrease the amount of security level that would raise when caught by shadows and palaces, and lower the level more overnight when you return back to reality. However, they change it up a little bit in Royal. In Persona 5 Royal, the palaces automatically start with a 40% security level, which I can assure you was no threat whatsoever since you can just lower it anyway after winning an ambush battle. At rank 1, the security level decreases when you find yourself a new safe room. At rank 3, the security level rises less when caught by shadows, and a successful ambush decreases it more. At rank 5, the security level at the start of an infiltration is lowered. At rank 7, same as 5 but lowered even more. And at max rank, the ambushing of enemies is a lot easier regardless of how high the security level is. Now, as I said before in my vanilla countdown, these perks are mostly worthless because the security level is never a threat unless you're very piss poor at the game and don't go for ambushes, which is common sense for more efficiency. However, I will argue that the max rank perk is somewhat useful if you are grinding out last minute searchable objects or treasure demons when you're about to steal your target's heart, as this can make the insta-kill perk that you get from the Chariot Confidant less likely to screw up, though not by much. However, despite her being the least best confidant, is Oya really that worthless?
You're worthless.
Of course not. She may have worthless perks, but that doesn't mean you should avoid her like the plague. For one, Tai Takemi is the plague. 2, her story is still really good and it ties into one of the game's later villains, and she requires no social stats to rank up her confidant. On top of that, she can increase your charm stat and give bonus XP burst when fusing devil personas, which was always the intended purpose of doing social links in the previous games to begin with. And besides, the best part of coming to the Crossroads is not to see her, but to see the beauty queen that is Lala-chan.
How old are you, boy?
Sorry, Lala-chan. He's with me.
Ooh, you picked up a real young one this time. Just don't let a minor drink alcohol, okay?
This might be the most obvious tip to any veteran Persona players or people who have played Persona 5 before, but if you want to max out all of your confidants, you should always, and I mean always, carry a persona of the arcana that your confidant represents. This will assure that you deepen your bond with them more, and you will be able to have more of the blue notes that pop out of their heads. So anytime you get 1 point, you will get 2 points instead. Or anytime you get 2 points, you get 3 points. So if you're bonding with a character, say like Ryuji, you should always carry a chariot persona on you. So it's actually more important to remember the arcana of your confidants as opposed to the name of your confidants. And if you don't happen to be carrying a persona of the arcana that the confidant represents, you can always go to the Velvet Room on Central Street and fuse 2 personas you don't need, or you can purchase the cheapest, lowest level persona from your persona compendium. However, it should be noted that there are certain confidants that don't require you to have a persona of the arcana they represent, as they can progress without the need of having blue notes, even though Yoshida and Mishima have them bouncing on their head. Goro Akechi of the Justice Arcana. Pancake joke! There, I got the most unfunniest meme out of the way, so let's talk about Pancake-kun. Akechi-kun. Oh, whatever, you knew I couldn't resist the joke. Anyway, Akechi is a fascinating confidant that I hate having to put him low on the list. Why? Because in the vanilla version, he was one of the 4 confidants that ranked up through story progression, and while you do have those story moments in the game that would usually rank up his confidant, Akechi's confidant has been reworked to make him a confidant that you have to optionally bond with in person. And let me just say, while Akechi was a good character in the vanilla version, they really gave him more depth and made him an even better character in Royal. How deep do we get with him? You know, Atlas, for a company who is shit at writing gay characters, you sure give a lot of homosexual shipping fuel in this game. Anyway, you automatically get rank 1 like you do in vanilla during your social studies field trip. After that, you can meet Akechi at Kijijoji at night and start your inevitable failed attempt at getting laid. At rank 2, you have a chance of revealing an enemy's affinity at the start of a battle. At rank 4, you have a chance of revealing all of an enemy's affinity at the start of a battle. Now, before I talk about the second half of his confidant, I will say this. The reason Akechi is low on this list is because, while the Sleuth Instinct is definitely useful, I kid you not, I only had this perk happen once in my entire playthrough. No joke. The reason for this is because I ended up fusing a lot of the personas ahead of time before I could meet them in their palace, which is a much more efficient way of revealing an enemy's affinity rather than relying on a skill that triggers through RNG. Chances are, this may have been a great perk for some first-time players, but for me, it only happened once and that was it. Now, the second half of Akechi's Confidant is a little bit of a mild spoiler, but I don't think it would ruin the game for you if I say what it is, since Akechi appears on the posters for Persona 5 Royal. Yes, at some point, he does become a party member. On November 2nd, you can continue his Confidant at rank 7. At rank 7, he gives you the Harrison Recover ability, and when he becomes a party member, he already has follow-up and smooth talk, and this is where Akechi's Confidant gets complicated. At rank 8, he will demand a duel in Mementos. If you fail, his Confidant will not progress. If you succeed, you can get rank 8. Kinda stupid, but as long as you use a persona with a repel physical ability, you should manage fine. And you want to get to rank 8 before you complete the 6th palace, or otherwise getting ranks 9 and 10 is impossible, both of which rank up through story progression at the exact moment as it does in the vanilla version. I really love Akechi's Confidant and being able to spend more time with him, and while his Confidant perks are very short-lived, he can unlock the Jazz Club at his 4th rank, which becomes one of the most useful places to go to when you have no more nighttime confidants. In fact, getting him up to rank 4 for the Jazz Djinn is what makes his Confidant all the more worth the trouble. Although, you do have to deal with several roadblocks that either require you waiting for the right moment in the story, being Akechi at his 8th rank, and doing so before completing the 6th palace. And to start rank 3, you will need level 3 knowledge and charm, and to start rank 7, you will need level 4 knowledge. And you need to get rank 7 and 8 anywhere between November 2nd to November 17th. I mean, holy crap, Atlus, that is a lot of requirements. I thought Haru had it bad, but this is nuts. It's obvious Akechi was designed for people who have played the vanilla version before and have already got an idea of how to level up their social stats efficiently, so as long as you maximize how you go about your days and raise both your charm and knowledge, you should be able to max out Akechi's Confidant no problem.
Is a tradition in the West to throw one's glove at their opponent when demanding a duel. Should the opponent accept the glove, the duel is also accepted.
SP is very scarce in the vanilla version, and still is to some extent in the royal version. The most useful resource to this problem at the start of the first couple of palaces is to buy SP drinks from 3 specific vending machines. You'll need 600 yen each for 2 SP drinks in the school courtyard and in the arcade on Central Street. However, the one next to the bathhouse in Yogenjaya can give you 4 SP drinks for 100 yen each, and these vending machines will restock every Monday, so you can get SP drinks on a weekly basis. Definitely useful if you're going to attempt a one-day palace completion or a long mission through Mementos, so this is a definite must if you plan to do Kamoshida's Palace in one go. Makoto Nijima of the Priestess Arcana. Out of all the characters you could have improved, Atlus, Makoto apparently wasn't one of them? How dare you treat my first playthrough girlfriend like this? I could end it here by saying that she is absolutely no different than she was from vanilla, but I'll do a quick rundown. At rank 1, Makoto will allow you to see a shadow's skills and potential dropped items on the analysis screen. At rank 7, she can display an X mark while highlighting a shadow, giving you a higher warning of what attacks will be nullified, drained, or repelled. And any other perks are all companion abilities. Now, that's not to say that her unique perks are useless. They're just more convenience perks in helping you prepare for a potential skill used against you, as well as a higher warning of what skills not to use. This could definitely be useful in making sure you don't have one of your party members get knocked down, while making sure that you don't make the worst mistake that could waste your turn, if not make things worse. And honestly, the only reason Makoto is above Akechi is because her Confidant perks are used as early as after you beat the 3rd palace, and can be used in the metaverse from that point forward, whereas Akechi's Sleuth Instinct was only used once for me, and if you know the amount of palaces you get to do with Akechi, yeah, it's no secret that Makoto is far superior of a Confidant than Akechi. The only roadblocks with Makoto is that you will need to complete the 3rd palace as well as have level 3 knowledge to start her confidant, along with max charm to start her 6th rank. It's a shame that Makoto hasn't really changed from vanilla, but she's still a really great confidant and a more efficient healer than Ann. And like I said before in my vanilla countdown, the priestess, who should be the empress, deserves to be higher on this list.
Honestly, it's a little strange that I found the true meaning of my studies outside of my studies. Thank you for all your help. Must have been difficult babysitting the uptight Miss President, right?
There are multiple places to buy books, and some books will take 2 or 3 time slots to read. However, you can increase Joker's reading speed by 2 by reading the speed reading book from the school library. The earliest you can rent this book is on July 1st, so be sure to get this book on Canada Day so that way you can read the books more efficiently. On to Kamiki of the Lover's Arcana. I bet all of you Panther fans hate me for putting your girlfriend this low. Well, if it makes you feel better, I hate myself for putting my queen below Ann. Anyway, in the royal version, they changed one of her perks. At rank 4, the sexy technique, now with a heart, has a chance of cancelling an enemy's action through seduction. At rank 5, you will get the crocodile tears, which increases the chances to force enemies to ask for less during negotiations. In the vanilla version, sexy technique would have originally seduced the enemy during the negotiation to increase the chances of you obtaining it easier. But with sexy technique in royal, it is updated to be a lot more useful and different since you're not going to be obtaining personas all the time, and any other abilities outside of these 2 perks are just companion perks for ourselves. While I do consider her more useful than she was in vanilla, I will make the argument that she is not as useful as other players make her out to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, she's a really great party member at the start of the first few palaces, and totally OP when she gains the concentrate skill at level 62. But both her sexy technique and crocodile tears only activate by chance and only when you have her in the front lines of battles. Unlike Makoto, whose skills are still used even when she's a backup member. But Ann in comparison is definitely a more efficient confidant to rank up with and only requires level 2 kindness to start her 2nd rank, and is definitely the easiest romantic interest to get in the game. So, go cockblock Morgana and steal the love of his life away from him.
Thank you for enjoying our Ferris wheel experience. The gondola will arrive at the platform shortly.
Huh? It's over already? We went all the way around, but I didn't see any scenery. All I saw was you.
On every Sunday that you can walk around Shibuya, you can gain 1 social stat point from the drink stand by drinking a questionable drink that costs 500 yen per Sunday. Sure, this is expensive as heck, but drinking here every Sunday can raise your social stats closer to the next rank without taking up a time slot. This will mean that you will have to grind out some money by winning battles in the metaverse to make this manageable, while being able to purchase other requirements to 100% the game. Also, this drink stand can grant you 2 social stat points if you use the luck reading perk that you get from your fortune confidant, so grind money and have a drink every Sunday. Haru Okumura of the Empress Arcana. Originally ranked below Ann and Makoto, the changes to Royal definitely make Haru more reliable than she ever was before. One of the major problems with Haru is that you were unable to get rank 2 unless you had max proficiency, and in the vanilla game, her baton pass would be unlocked at rank 2, which means most players were at a disadvantage with Haru since most couldn't baton pass with her. So yeah, you needed max proficiency to get baton pass with Haru. That's why. Thankfully, with all party members having baton pass at the start in the royal version, Haru is a lot more useful as a party member, and you need max proficiency at her 3rd rank instead, which is somewhat better, but since the game provides you extra chances of increasing your social stats in LeBlanc after a day in the metaverse, maxing out your proficiency is a lot easier than it was before. At rank 1, Haru will grow specific vegetables on the school rooftop for you to use in the metaverse. At rank 5, you can gain more vegetables from a single harvest, and at rank 7, you can decrease the amount of time it takes for the vegetable to grow. In the vanilla version, you could plant 2 different kinds of SP recovery foods, which is mostly great for first timers attempting a one-day infiltration in the last few palaces of the game. And while these vegetables are still in the royal version, they actually add 2 more vegetables, which I find a lot more useful. A plant that can repel physical attacks to 1 ally, and a plant that can repel magical attacks to 1 ally. The addition of these 2 plants makes Haru's Confidant abilities all the more useful. However, it does suck that you can't start her Confidant until October 30th in the game, so you are left with only 2 or 3 months of whatever palaces remain to put these arms to use, which is only 1/3 of the game. The additions of these 2 items, changing the social stat requirement from rank 2 to 3, and having all party members with the Baton Pass ability definitely makes Haru more useful than she was before, even more so than Makoto and On to some extent. And for once, outside of New Game Plus, I can actually give more of a damn about her character as she has more screen time and opportunities than she did before.
As long as you're by my side, it feels like everything's going to be okay. And if you're ever in trouble, I will be there for you. After all, you were there for me when I needed it. I can help you now. I have the strength to do so. I can sense it.
This may not be the most obvious to newcomers, but every time you find yourself a safe room, you should always try to go to the Velvet Room to fuse stronger personas, especially if you're full on stock or have a fusion alarm going. You should by all means conserve certain personas with unique affinities and skills, but being able to carry over your best skills while making the most out of the fusion alarm can be very beneficial to your overall rehabilitation. Just make sure you lean more towards the Arcanas that you still have yet to max out, or Arcanas with the highest Confidant rank for bigger bonus XP. And every time you get 25% in your Persona Compendium, you will get a discount the next time you purchase a Persona in your Persona Compendium. Hifume Togo of the Star Arcana. Absolutely nothing has changed with Hifume. Her Confidant perks, and the fact that she was originally going to be a party member early in development. But even in the royal version, Hifume will never shine as a Phantom Thief. Anyway, Hifume is available as early as June 26, which you will be recommended to by Yusuke. At a Christian church, you can start a Confidant with a Shogi player as long as you have level 3 charm. At rank 1, you can swap current party members with backup members whenever it's Joker's turn. At rank 3, a backup member can sometimes do a follow-up attack if Joker downs an enemy. At rank 5, you can attempt an escape even when you're surrounded by enemies. At rank 7, you can earn double the amount of money if a battle is won in one turn after an ambush. At rank 9, you can instantly escape a battle without having to wait for your opportunity to do so. And at max rank, you can have your party members swap themselves out with backup members. Looking at all these perks, you can tell that bonding with Hifume will help you out a ton. It can actually put backup members into use if you need to swap to a character who has a skill who can weaken the enemy. You can earn extra yen if you do everything within one turn, which is a great backup for the money reading perk that you get from the Fortune Arcana. An escape in a battle can sometimes be useful in scenarios where you are severely underpowered by an overpowered enemy. Hifume really increases your strategy and tactics, and is what makes the battles more fun. The only downside with Hifume is that while you do need level 3 charm to start your Confidant, you will need max knowledge to get her Mementos request, which is required to progress her Confidant past rank 7. Overall, Hifume really adds more to the battles. Even if you don't find yourself using it a lot, it can really save your ass in the latter part of the game. After all, SP does not last forever.
At first, this was just a deal. You help me develop new moves, and I give you shogi lessons. But before I knew it, you became someone I couldn't do without. I'm not gonna pay attention to all the criticism anymore. This time, I'll earn everyone's praise with my own skills.
Now, getting awards in the Thieves' Den does not help you in your main progress in the game, but rather give you P tokens for all the features and collectible extras within the Thieves' Den. It should be noted that it will require at least 2 playthroughs to 100% all rewards. 3 of them are only possible on New Game Plus. And most of these rewards, like spending 15 times in the bathhouse or getting 30 home runs in the batting cage, is absolutely ridiculous and a wasted time. However, the Thieves' Den uses a separate save that tracks the progress on all of your files and not just the one you're using. Meaning, if you were to save before doing an activity, you can do the activity, and then once you're done, you can reload your save file and rinse and repeat this process until you get the reward. It should be noted that when you do laundry, the game tracks which clothes you wash, so be sure to wash 10 different pieces of clothing. And once you get your reward, you can reload your save and focus your time on Confidants, which should be your top priority. So by saving and reloading your save file, you should be able to complete most of your school life and Confidant awards this way. So take advantage of it and do this so that way you don't waste any time in your playthrough. Kasume Yoshizawa of the Faith Arcana. Kasume is the new Royal exclusive character who is both a confidant as well as a party member. Her first rank is automatically gained on May 30th during the park cleanup event, which was not in the vanilla version. And as you can see with the Faith Arcana, her card seems very different from the other confidants, and she only has 5 ranks. Or that's what it may seem like at first. Spending time with Kasume on certain ranks can sometimes increase Joker's HP by 5. At rank 2, you can dodge an ambush attack from a shadow and end up gaining the upper hand instead. Definitely useful if you're collecting treasure loot or treasure demons when you're about to steal your target's heart. At rank 4, you can use the grappling hook from a distance as an alternative to ambushing your enemies, which is not only an award in the Thieves' Den, but also a bigger advantage as using the grappling hook against your enemies can give them a random status element at the start of a battle. Very useful and a better chance of getting technical damage on an enemy. So why is Kasume only at 5 ranks and only has 2 abilities? Well, that is because you need to unlock the second half of her confidant during the 3rd semester. The 3rd semester is a Royal exclusive edition that continues where the vanilla version would usually have its final boss fight. But if you maxed out the Counselor Confidant, this will not only unlock the 3rd semester, but this is the only way to play as Kasume, as well as complete the second half of her Confidant, along with having her as a possible girlfriend. To avoid spoilers of what happens in the 3rd semester, her later perks are all companion perks. Even though she may seem very last minute addition, Kasume is a great confidant to bond with, especially for the grappling hook ambush ability. It should be noted that the second half of her confidant will not be available unless you A. max out the Counselor Confidant before November 17th, and B. get all 5 ranks with Kasume before December 23rd. As long as you maximize your opportunities and carry a Faith persona on you, the cheapest being Phoenix, you should be able to max her out no problem. There's a lot of spoilers around Kasume, so I highly recommend not looking her up on the internet and just take my word for how to max her out, because the 3rd semester will be a real treat for those who have played the vanilla version beforehand.
I don't like gossip or rumors and the like. And I know this will sound strange since I just met you, but you don't seem like the kind of person they describe.
It'd be a different story if all those rumors were actually true, though.
What were all the crimes I'd heard? Burglary, murder, and elephant tusk trafficking, was it?
Even I can tell you're joking.
Café LeBlanc has plenty of activities for you to do either at the start of the game or after you complete an infiltration and are too tired to do anything else. However, in Café LeBlanc, there are 3 ways to raise your knowledge and kindness without a time slot passing by. One is with the crossword puzzles, which would usually have a time slot pass by in the original, but in this version it can give you 1 free knowledge stat. And on these specific days, if you interact with the TV during a game show, if you get the answer to a question right, you can gain a free knowledge stat. And if you go upstairs, you can feed your plant nutrients every 16 days. You want to go with the bionutrients that you get from the flower shop, starting as early as April 19th. The bionutrients will give you 2 kindness points. Just don't go with the garden energy, as that will only give you 1 kindness point. And once you have access to Shinjuku, you can buy a mega fertilizer at their flower shop, which will raise your kindness by 3 points. It should also be noted that you can get the Mega Fertilizer earlier on the Home Shopping program on May 8th, along with 5 wasted garden energy items, but hey, whatever gives you 1 extra stat ahead, right? Definitely take advantage of these opportunities, as it can save you from wasting your time on a confidant that you can't deepen your bond further with. And to get the answer to the TV questions and crossword puzzles right, you should always look it up online, as sometimes the answers are not always obvious. It ain't cheating if the opportunity is there for you. Sejiro Sakura of the Hierophant Arcana. Sejiro has not changed from the vanilla version, so I'll make this quick. Sejiro is the first nighttime confidant and the only nighttime confidant available during the 2 weeks for Kamoshida's Palace. Spending time with Sejiro can give Joker 2 stats of kindness, since he's not the one who's going to give you any kindness. At rank 2, you can make coffee that slightly restores SP to 1 ally. At rank 4, you can make curry that slightly restores SP to all allies, and any further ranks increases the amount of SP you gain from making coffee and curry. I'll be honest when I say, even though I did make curry at least once, I don't think I've ever actually used it in my playthrough, although for first time players, some might actually find this perk incredibly useful. And when you're stuck in LeBlanc during the first 2 weeks of Kamoshida's Palace, or after you come back from the metaverse, you can choose to pass time by making coffee, which not only gives you 2 items of coffee, but it can also raise your charm by 1 stat, which was not in the vanilla version. And sometimes you can deepen your bond with Sejiro by 1 point, while getting some coffee trivia. It should be noted, however, that making coffee or curry will have a nighttime slot pass by, so if you don't intend to read a book or bathe with old man, I would recommend making coffee over curry, and use it as rarely as possible. However, the benefit of making coffee and curry is not for the fact that you get SP recovery in the metaverse, but the fact that another confidant can make the coffee and curry for you without wasting your time slot. And the Temperance Confidant, who I will mention eventually, is what makes bonding with Sejiro all the more worth it. There are, however, 3 roadblocks when bonding with Sejiro. The first is that you can only get Sejiro up to rank 4 before you have to wait until sometime after the deadline of the 4th palace when Futaba joins the Phantom Thieves. The second roadblock is that you need max kindness in order to start his 7th rank, so be sure to keep up on feeding that plant upstairs. And the third roadblock is that after rank 8, you will get Sejiro's Mementos request that cannot be completed with any other Mementos request, and only has Joker and Futaba going after the target. Plus, this Mementos request will put a halt on Futaba's Confidant, which is not good, so be sure to prepare for a one-on-one battle after the 8th rank. Sejiro is overall a great character. Very strict, sometimes an ass, but impossible not to like. So whenever you feel like it, let the Master Coffee Man teach you how to make the perfect cup of joe, so you can go from making basic coffee to Master Coffee.
I'll teach you everything I can. You're a full-fledged man now. That might not be enough to return the favor, but it's all I can do.
Kichijoshi is one of the newest additions to Persona 5, a whole new area you can explore with a lot of new opportunities. Here's a rundown of some of the most useful things in Kichijoshi. There's a secondhand clothes shop that can be used as a great alternative to your dirty clothing, so instead of having a daytime slot pass by washing them, you can sell them for yen and use points to buy some helpful items. Across the street, there's a fried food shop that sells some delicious ground beef that always has a long lineup in the daytime and is always sold out at night, except on Sundays. And on Sunday evenings, you can buy a thing of meat to restore 30 SP to one ally for only 150 yen. Over to your right is an old temple where you can meditate for SP growth. The amount increases depending on how many times you visit. However, I would advise coming here once so you can at least get the trophy for it, as coming here will be a huge waste of time in maxing out your confidants, which should be your top priority. However, the stats gained in the days spent here do carry over to New Game Plus, so it's not a complete loss coming here in the latter part of the game or during New Game Plus. Through the alleyway, you can find a trader who will request you to give him specific items to trade for another item, and one item to get from this guy who is one step to social distancing than everyone else is to trade the MRE ration that you get from the Airshop vending machine for a factorization guidebook, which can boost your knowledge if you choose to pass time by studying. And the fact that this is only available between July 23rd to July 30th is unbelievable, since I actually got this on my first playthrough without this knowledge. Then there's a jazz club which is unlocked after completing Akechi's 4th confidant rank. Every night you come here, you can increase a party member's stats, HP, SP, or even level them up by inviting them on certain days. And the effects are doubled when a singer is performing live. Sunday cocktails, however, are special as each day can give a party member a certain skill. Futaba, however, has a different system where inviting her here on a Sunday 4 times can give her some very useful abilities, including a chance for her support skills to activate more frequently. And the Sunday cocktail skills can be relearned on New Game Plus when you take that party member to the confessional booth in the church, which is like the really only good use for this ability, as the confessional booth will have a nighttime slot pass. The jazz club is a great way to pass time when you have no nighttime confidants to spend time with, and you can deepen your bond with your party members this way. And then there's the Penguin Sniper. You can play darts to increase your baton pass rank with your individual party members by increasing their attack power, HP recover, and gaining SP recover. I'll talk more about darts in another tip, as there's actually a very useful way to get the 3rd rank instantly. And then there's the billiards, which has 4 ranks to increase your technical damage and down rate. Rank 1 for doing it the first time. Rank 2 if you have read the Expert Billiards book that you get from the sports shop. Rank 3 if you buy the jump cue from the sports shop. And rank 4 if you read one more book given to you by an employee. And playing billiards will increase your bonds by 1 point for all available party members. It's completely possible to max out all confidants while maxing out your baton pass ranks and technical damage rank in one playthrough, but be sure to use these advantages wisely, and follow some of my other tips to do this all more efficiently. Kichijoshi is a great addition to Royal, and I highly recommend taking advantage of it, and probably wait until you're closer to maxing out all of your confidants. Shinya Oda of the Tower Arcana, the youngest confidant who has this abomination and a demon sitting on the toilet under his Arcana. I'm sensing there's a bigger picture to why we never see his dad in the game. Yikes. Anyway, Shinya is connected to a momentous request that you get on September 4th called Winners Don't Use Cheats. It should be noted that you will have a school field trip on September 7th, so I highly recommend completing this request as soon as you can. And upon attempting to complete it, it will lead you to Shinya in Akihabara, and the abilities you gain from Shinya will increase the amount of uses for your gun battle. Before I talk about the perks, I should address the one major difference between this version and the vanilla version when it comes to guns. In vanilla, you have a limited amount of ammunition that never restores itself after battle. Once you use it up, it's gone for the rest of your infiltration till the next day. But in Royal, you have a smaller amount of ammo, but it restores itself after combat, so it can be used in every battle and never run out during an infiltration. A definite huge upgrade, as they do balance it out in Royal pretty well. Anyway, spending time with Shinya can increase your kindness, along with gaining some awesome gun abilities. At rank 1, you can perform a down shot once per infiltration, which will down an enemy instantly. At rank 2, you can sometimes perform a gun-based all-out attack called Bullet Hail after a successful ambush. At rank 3, you can use a warning shot to scare shadows during negotiation for a chance to obtain it. At rank 5, the success rate of a status ailment gun is increased. At rank 6, you can use the down shot 3 times per infiltration. At rank 8, you can increase the damage done by Bullet Hail. And at max rank, Joker's gun can damage an enemy normally despite being resistant to gunfire. So yeah, it's pretty similar to vanilla, except instead of an ammo pouch, you get an increased success rate in the status element guns, and while I recall people saying that Shinya's perks are now almighty in the Royal version, I would have to say that the down shot is downgraded in this version. The reason being is because in vanilla, you could use the down shot if you had enough bullets, and there is an infiltration tool that can restore your ammunition to one ally, so you could use more than 3 down shots in the original, whereas in Royal, you're limited just down to 3 or 1. But I guess it beats running out of ammo all the time. Shinya's gun perks are a huge advantage regardless of how little you use them, and since he requires no social stats to max out, he's a very efficient confidant to spend time with, as well as a good source of kindness to max out Sajiro's confidant. So get smoked and kick ass using a move only 3 times.
I wonder, will that help me become a member of the Phantom Thieves? That's why I'm asking you.
When it comes to completing a palace, it requires 3 specific days usually. 1 day for a full infiltration route to the treasure, the 2nd day to plan out the calling card, and the 3rd day to steal the heart of the palace ruler. The game does give you an option of returning to reality if you are completely drained, while using safe rooms for fast travel. However, if you want to maximize the amount of days you have to max out your confidants and other stats in the game, you should always go for a 1-day infiltration route. It can be quite a challenge, but it will save you on wasting your time. The hardest palace to do this is ironically the first palace, since you are very limited on resources and are down to only 4 party members. You can watch my playthrough on how I managed Kamoshida and Madarame's palace in one shot. The simple tips is to stock up on SP drinks, always equip the strongest weapon and protector available to you, and for Kamoshida's palace, just sneak past most of the enemy encounters and worry about leveling up later once you have a full infiltration route. Sakimitama can gain a 25% XP if you are not using that persona in battle, while Slime can give you a resistance to physical attacks. You definitely want to complete Kamoshida's palace within the first week so you can get to the movie theater to raise your guts up to level 2 for the Death Confidant, plus read a book from Shinjuku later on. And complete Madarame's palace as early as possible to get the Temperance Confidant. With further palaces, you might be held back on bonding with a confidant or getting a mementos request, but I will say that you can save infiltrating palaces 3 and up for later, and use this time to bond with confidants for higher confidant ranks for more skills gained through persona fusions. Plan ahead and strategize wisely. Otherwise, always do a palace in one go and never at the last couple of days. Futaba Sakura of the Hermit Arcana. Originally number 5 on my vanilla countdown, Futaba, for the most part, hasn't changed when it comes to her confidant perks, despite having some royal exclusive abilities gained through the Jazz Djinn on Sundays. However, when I did my original countdown, I actually somehow forgot to mention a skill, so now will be my chance to bring it up. At rank 1, Futaba has a chance of casting Kaja or healing up party members in a battle. At rank 2, Futaba can sometimes scan an entire floor of mementos, which will help you find the treasure chest, the exit, and a hidden 2nd star podium that may or may not be on that floor. At rank 4, Futaba has a chance to instantly cause a holdup at the start of the battle. At rank 6, Futaba has a chance of casting charge or SP recovery during a battle. At rank 7, Futaba has a small chance of reviving searchable objects on a floor of mementos or the entirety of a palace after winning a battle. At rank 9, Futaba has a chance of swapping 2 or 3 KO'd members with backup members, and at max rank, Futaba has a chance of nullifying a fatal attack on any party member. While most of her perks activate by chance, which is more than less likely than likely, being able to have these backup abilities can be a huge advantage in battle or make the navigation of mementos all the more convenient. And if you take Futaba to the Jazz Gym 4 times on a Sunday, you can gain a skill that increases the chances of her rank 1 and rank 5 perk happening. Now, when I did my vanilla countdown, I actually completely overlooked one skill to mention, and that's the Treasure Reboot ability. This ability is in both versions of the game, so if you notice that I neglected to mention it on my vanilla countdown, just know that this was a mistake on my part, and I'm not sure how I overlooked it. And I guess everyone else overlooked it too, since people seem to criticize my name pronunciation of one character over a skill I forgot to talk about. Now, when it comes to Futaba, there are 3 roadblocks when progressing her Confidant. 1, you must have level 4 kindness to start her second rank, so keep up on feeding that plant some mega fertilizer. 2, she's the only Phantom Thief who comes with a Mementos request, so be wary that you can't progress her Confidant past rank 8 until you complete that request. And 3, when you get Sejiro Sakura's Mementos request at his 8th rank, you will be locked out of progressing not only his Confidant, but Futaba's as well until you complete Sejiro's Mementos request. Overall, Futaba is definitely a character you should bond with, not just for her perks, but because she is without a doubt the best and most developed character in the game, even outside of her Confidant. So if you want a bigger advantage in the metaverse, I say max the Inkling out.
I feel kinda calm when we're this close. You're okay being like this, right?
You don't have to.
A common mistake that first-time players make is passing time in the most inefficient way possible. Hey, I can gain more HP by training in my room! Don't do it. Hey, I can increase my guts with the Big Bang Burger Challenge even if I fail! Don't do it. Hey, a new movie is out. I should totally watch it. Don't do it. Hey, I can gain useful protectors by doing laundry. Don't do it. Hey, I can gain 1 social stat point by cleaning up LeBlanc! Wow! Definitely don't do this except for 1 trophy. Okay, now that's not to say that these advantages can't be useful, but you should always prioritize your time on activities that will raise your social stats efficiently, and most importantly, focus on maxing out your confidants more. During your first playthrough, you will need to waste time in order to increase your social stats. Like increasing your guts is necessary for 3 different confidants, and it's highly recommended that you get your guts up to level 3 as soon as possible for the Temperance Confidant, and level 4 for the Hangman Confidant. During my Let's Play, I showed that I could increase my guts by 1 point by spending time in the diner, a necessary step I do have to take once in a while. And while I needed to max out my guts, I was out of options in gaining social stats. So what I did was go and rent a DVD by purchasing the Royal exclusive annual subscription fee and using the DVD on a day that I can't leave the cafe, which helped me get my guts up to the next rank. So while something like DVDs can be useful, it is a waste of time and is not required for an award or trophy. If you want to increase your social stats, focus on reading books, playing video games, or spending time with confidants who can raise your social stats. And don't forget those extra social stats points in LeBlanc or at the drink stand on Sundays. Plan ahead for more efficiency. Moonhisha Iwai of the Hangman Arcana. I want to thank everyone for correcting me by confirming that my mispronunciation of Iwa in the vanilla countdown is actually Iwai. As an English speaker with little to no knowledge on Japanese, I could totally see the E out of the I and the Y out of the way. So thank you so much for making sure that I know that name pronunciations are more important than the perks he offers. I'm I'm actually in tears, guys. But just to piss you EY fans off, I'm just gonna call him Geico the Gecko. You brought this on yourselves! Anyway, Geico the Gecko was a confidant who I ranked as the second least best confidant, only being slightly better than Oya. But as you can see here, Royal has not only updated Geico the Gecko's confidants, but Atlus made gun customization a lot more useful than before. To start his confidant, you have to get level 4 Guts, and start bonding with him almost any time after the deadline for Kamoshida's Fallout, and getting to level 4 Guts will take a good long while to get to on your first playthrough. And when you finally got him in Vanilla, it was disappointing. But when you got him in Royal, it was a great opportunity. In Vanilla, you would have 4 different ranks which would allow you to customize a gun depending on their overall grade. The major downside to this is that you would likely be unable to customize your current gun by the time you get the first rank. In Persona 5 Royal, on the other hand, they said, screw the grade restrictions, let's update it to where you can customize any gun at rank 1, regardless of how weak or powerful it is. This alone makes Geico the Gecko a better deal for your car insurance. Gun customization, damn it guys! So if you can customize any gun at the first rank, what do the later ranks provide? Well, at rank 3, you can add camouflage to your guns, which can add status elements like shock, freeze, and burn. At rank 5, you will get a 50% discount when customizing a gun. At rank 7, you can unlock more parts for customization, and at max rank, you can customize your guns for free on the house. There are so many reasons why this is far superior than it was in the original. In the original, your guns had a disadvantage of running out of ammo permanently, but since your ammo restocks between battles in Royal, you can use your guns more optionally when you couldn't before. Also, the interface in the vanilla version for customizing a gun seems very last minute edition that it's honestly laughable. Just change it to blue and we're good! Done! But here, it's more stylized and feels more fleshed out. On top of that, when you purchase a gun in Royal, you will be instantly brought to the customization options right away. And when it comes to customization, you have several options as opposed to one dumb option in the original. In Royal, you have a choice of increasing your attack power while decreasing your accuracy, increasing your accuracy while decreasing your attack power, or you can slightly improve your attack power with no effect on your accuracy, or you can have a high status ailment with a lower attack power. With so many options between increasing your attack power, adding status ailments for technical damage or delaying an enemy's turn, and the bullets restoring itself between battles, gun customization is very useful and a huge advantage in battle, even more so than Shinya's gun perks to some extent. And while you could get a 50% discount in the vanilla version as well, being able to customize a gun for free is completely Royal exclusive and makes maxing Geico the Gecko out all the more worth it. The only two roadblocks is that you will need level 4 Guts to start his Confidant and max Guts to get his Mementos request after rank 7. Otherwise, unlike the vanilla version, I will say that the Hangman Confidant is very much worth your time if you want to customize the best firearms for the harder enemies to come.
Interesting. Alright, I'm gonna put all my effort into that special menu we talked about. I don't like to owe nobody nothing, so I'll do my best for you, because that's the kind of support I can provide.
Stamp podiums are one of the new additions to Mementos with the addition of Jose, and let me just say, they really updated Mementos from one of the most okay aspects of the vanilla game to one of the most efficient places to level up and grind money. Jose, and before anyone corrects me and says that the correct pronunciation is Jose, the characters in the game call him Jose with a J.
My name is Jose. I'm looking for flowers.
So don't bother correcting me, you gecko lovers. Anyway, Jose will request star stamps that you get at the end of every single floor, plus one additional podium that sometimes shows up behind a locked door or a breakable wall. However, it should be noted that even if you do go through the entire section of Mementos, you will not be able to get all stamps in one shot. Sometimes you will have to go through the area 2 or 3 times to get all stamps, which will definitely take a good couple to a few hours of playtime to collect them all. But is it worth the trouble? I say yes. If you collect these stamps before completing the Mementos requests, you can ask Jose to change the cognition of Mementos for more XP or money. This is perfect if you want to get the most out of your Mementos requests and use the Fortune Arcana's perks on a daily basis. And while going through the floors multiple times sounds tedious, this could be a good way of fusing personas in the Velvet Room you still have yet to fuse through a fusion alarm. And you don't have to enter battles if you have gained the insta-kill ability that I will talk about eventually. But say if you're at level 99 with all your party members and you only need to max out the boost for XP, is it still worth getting all stamps? The answer is yes. There's a total of 172 stamps, and you need that amount exactly to max out the EXP, money, and item buffs. And even though the Thieves' Den only requires 150 for an award, getting all 172, or any that you collected on your first playthrough, will be carried over to New Game Plus. Meaning if you go to Jose, you can max out the buffs from the very first time you optionally visit Mementos. A massive advantage if you want to get through New Game Plus as efficiently as possible. It may take hours of time on your first playthrough, but it will save you lots of time on your New Game Plus playthrough. So be sure to collect all stamp podiums before you finish the game. Yusuke Katagawa of the Emperor Arcana. Still can't date the artist, but just like the get-go, Yusuke as well has been updated as a confidant and is far more useful than he was in the vanilla version. How so? Well, at rank 1, you can have Yusuke duplicate skill cards as long as you have a copy of the card you want to duplicate and a blank card for him to draw on. At rank 5, Yusuke can recreate any skill card that he has duplicated before, regardless if you have that skill card in your inventory or not. And at rank 7, Yusuke can duplicate or create a skill card on the spot without you having to wait a day for him to do so. There are 3 major reasons that Yusuke is a lot more useful as a confidant in the Royal version than he was in the vanilla version. For one, similar to Geico the Gecko, originally Yusuke would have only been able to duplicate 3 different ranks of skill cards, so you would have to have him at rank 7 so he could duplicate any skill card in vanilla. And while you're able to get rank 1 and 5 without any social stats required, you would need level 4 proficiency in order to get his 6th rank, locking you out of the 7th rank for a good chunk of the game. Whereas in Royal, you can duplicate any skill cards once you get rank 1, though you will still need level 4 proficiency to get his 6th rank, but still this is far superior than it was in the original. The second reason is that, as I stated in my original countdown, it's not clear on where you can get blank cards that are required to duplicate a skill card, and even if you do get them, they are pretty rare, making Yusuke's perks almost useless in the vanilla version. In Royal, however, there are 2 clear ways of getting a whole bunch of blank cards, by either defeating a Disaster Shadow, which is a new enemy type not in the original, or purchasing them from Jose and Mementos for 15 flowers each. Thanks to the addition of Jose in particular, the blank cards are no longer rare items, so you can use Yusuke's perk almost on a daily basis if you wanted to. And the third reason he's improved is because the rank 5 and 7th perk actually does something different with his duplication skills other than just doing the same thing, but better. Instead, you start off with better and get 2 more convenient options. With these 3 advantages, you can over-prepare yourself and carry the best personas with Drain and Repel skills for the latter part of the game, the 3rd semester, and battling Caroline and Justine in New Game Plus. And the advantage of over-preparing yourself is that all skill cards carry over to New Game Plus. So be sure to see Yusuke when he's available in the underground walkway, or in a safe room when doing an infiltration. And be sure to stock up on some blank cards from Jose and itemized skill cards in the Velvet Room with the electric chair during a fusion alarm. You may not be able to date the artist, but if stroking his brush in front of you means anything, I would say that Yusuke, as a confidant, has had a huge upgrade.
I am not Madarame. I won't be stained by desire. After all, I can see hope. If I am lost, they will extend their hands. If I am wrong, they will chastise me. As long as I have my rays of hope to guide me, I will be fine.
A common mistake that I see first-time players do is that they try to raise their guts every day by taking the Big Bang Burger Challenge. Don't do it. What you should do is rely on the drink stand, books, video games, the diner once in a while, and Tai Takemi's confidant instead. Not only is the Big Bang Burger the least efficient, but you should only use it 3 times when taking the Big Bang Burger Challenge. There are 3 challenges in total, and these stats are required to complete a challenge. Upon completing it, you'll gain points for all social stats except for kindness. Completing all 3 challenges while you're at the required skill level not only helps raise 4 social stats, but it can get you an award in the Thieves' Den. So only take the challenge if you know you will beat it. Tai Takemi of the Death Arcana. Originally ranked at number 11 on my original countdown, I will admit she is the number 1 confidant that I ranked too low. Why? Well, let's talk about her. Takemi hasn't changed as a confidant, though the one major difference is that she has a different voice actress in Royal.
So I'll provide you the medicine for your entrance exams, and in exchange, you'll be my guinea pig.
So I'll provide you the medicine for your entrance exams, and in exchange, you'll be my guinea pig.
I couldn't find the reason for the change, but anyway, let's talk about her perks. At rank 1, you can increase the selection of healing items at the clinic. At rank 3, you can add more healing items. At rank 5, you can add more support items. At rank 7, you can get a 50% discount. And at max rank, you can increase the selection of revival items. Tai Takemi is the very first confidant that you can optionally bond with the moment the deadline for your first palace starts, and I highly recommend getting her at rank 1 on April 18th, as not only can you get the XP Arcana burst for fusing death personas in the Velvet Room, but you will need level 2 guts to start her second rank. And you can get level 2 guts very soon by renting the Pirate Legend book from the school library. Clean up your room on April 18th so you can have access to the plant, read the book at LeBlanc on the 19th to cover the first chapter, and then read the second chapter when you take the train ride to school on the 20th. This will increase some of your guts, but not enough to get to level 2. After that, you have to complete the entirety of Kamoshida's Palace as early as you can, doing a 1-day infiltration route if possible on April 20th. Steal Kamoshida's heart on the 22nd, then on the 23rd, you can go to the movie theater, which Morgana will forbid you to do unless you complete Kamoshida's Palace first. And not only will watching a movie at this time increase your guts to level 2, but it will also give you access to the Craft of Cinema book in Shinjuku. And once you're at level 2, you can continue her confidant up to rank 7 before needing level 4 charm to continue the rest of her confidant and get her mementos request. Anyway, as I mentioned before, there is a good reason why I believe I ranked Tai Takemi too low on my original countdown, and the reason comes down to the support items. When you get to rank 5, you have 3 different options of SP and HP recovery accessories. Using SP adhesives can help you massively in progressing through a full infiltration route, as wearing it can regain you some SP every turn. Definitely useful so you don't have to keep buying SP drinks on a weekly basis. Though be warned that SP adhesive is not cheap, and you can only get the best one at rank 5 and get a 50% discount at rank 7. So yeah, because of the SP adhesive, which I've completely overlooked, Tai Takemi can be one of your major factors in helping you do a 1-day palace infiltration route easily. And bonding with her can increase your guts by 1 point, so bonding with her is very much worth your time. Sorry I ranked you too low, Takemi, but you are a lot better than I gave you credit for.
Then it's just the 2 of us. Really? Then would you like a thorough examination? I guess I'll start off by examining your eyes. I'll just have to take my time examining you.
There's going to be moments in the game where confidants, particularly your party members, will invite you to a place to hang out. This is a great opportunity to not only deepen your bond with that confidant, but with another confidant who just happens to be there. This happens mostly on Sundays or days that you have off of school, like during summer break. But is there another benefit to hanging out with confidants other than deepening your bond with them? Yes. Most of these hangout spots are unlocked in one of two ways, by either reading a book about it or accepting an invite to a place you've never been to before. It's beneficial to accept these requests because then you will automatically consider these books read without having to read them, saving you a time slot for better uses of your time. So be sure to spare books that teaches you about these hangout spots and reserve your time to read in books that increases your social stats. You'll find it more efficient that way. Toronosuke Yoshida of the Sun Arcana. Yoshida has not changed in this version, though one of his confidant perks has been fixed as it only sometimes worked in the original. On May 6, Sojiro will give Joker the key so he will be allowed to walk around Tokyo at night. From here, you can check out this politician at Station Square where he will later go to the Beef Bowl shop. So you can apply for the job or Nabeko in the underground walkway and work at the Beef Bowl shop, as you have to do this job twice so Yoshida can notice you. Once done, you can visit Yoshida on the third night and volunteer to help him. You do this once on one night, then a second time on the next night to start his first rank of the Sun Arcana. At rank 2, you can quote-unquote occasionally ask for more items or money during negotiation, with a possible gamble of having the shadow attack back at you. At rank 3, you can ask for a large amount of money during negotiation. At rank 5, you can occasionally ask for a rare item. At rank 8, you can skip answering questions and instantly obtain a persona. And at max rank, you can obtain a persona at a higher level who would usually turn you down for being a lower level. Embodied with Yoshida can increase your charm stat. Now, I think this is all self-explanatory, but I will say Yoshida's perks can help a ton in gaining personas and gaining a lot of money. As I play my favorite game of asking for money for a Shadow's life, then asking for more, and then defeating it anyway in an all-out attack so I can still gain the EXP that I would otherwise miss out on without this perk. However, the thing with the diplomacy perk is that, in my experience, it only sometimes worked in the vanilla version, which can be a bummer when it doesn't work as you could be missing out on some EXP or extra money. But they seem to fix this in Royal so it works no matter what, which is odd because it still says that it occasionally works when it seems to work all the time for me in Royal. So you can gamble your chances of either getting attacked, gaining more money, or still getting your EXP after gaining more money than usual, and it's awesome that this perk is no longer a chance activated ability. And if it still is to some people, be jealous that I got a game with good RNG. Now, when it comes to bonding with Yoshida, there are 3 factors you should know. 1. Despite the blue notes appearing at the top of his head, you do not need a Sun persona to deepen your bond with him, as every interaction will increase your rank, so your responses don't matter at all, and the follow-ups are 100% pointless. 2. Aside from some holidays, Yoshida is only available on Sunday nights, so be sure to provide some time on Sunday to bond with him. Just don't forget to grab your drink from the drink stand before meeting up with Yoshida. 3. Yoshida is one of the 3 confidants who will no longer be available after the first half of November for story-related reasons, so make sure you max him out before November 17th. Also, Yoshida is one of the few non-party member confidants who doesn't have a mementos request, so he's a very efficient confidant to max out. So if you have nothing to do on a Sunday night, go hang out with an old man and talk about politics. Apparently it does more good to Joker than it does in real life.
You're doing a good job of cheering me up, but you may be right. The most important part about giving a good speech is believing in yourself. Perhaps one day, I will believe in myself again. But you sure got me there. You're a strange young man.
The bookstore in Shinjuku is one of the many places you can buy books. However, these books will only be available if you participated in a certain activity at least once. You must do your part-time job at the flower shop at least once to get the Flowerpedia book. You have to do the batting cages at least once to get the batting science book, and then there's also fishing, watching a movie at the movie theater, playing video games, playing darts, and crafting. Out of all these books, the ones I recommend is anything from Essence of Fission and below, as these can help you either increase your stats or make certain activities easier and more efficient. However, it should be noted that the Expert Billiards book is only available at the sports shop in the Underground Mall and is required to level up your technical rank. These books will help you out a ton, so if you have the time, read them. Catching better fish and making all 7 video games easier to beat will help you in the long run. Caroline and Justine of the Strength Arcana. Also ranked at number 6 on my original countdown, the Twin Wardens are heavily improved upon in Royal. Bonding with Caroline and Justine requires you to complete a penal labor where you must bring them a specific persona with a specific ability, such as Jack Frost with Mabafu. So just like Yoshida, you do not need a strength persona to deepen your bond with them. And for those who are wondering, no, the outings with Caroline and Justine are not required for their confidant. In fact, I only did 2 of these outings in my first playthrough, as it's not really that useful, outside of unique character interactions and a skill card, so honestly, these outings are something that you can skip in your first playthrough. Anyway, you start their confidant during your infiltration of the second palace on May 18th. At rank 1, you can unlock the Advanced Fusion, which will enable you to fuse 3 personas for a powerful persona. At rank 3, you can put a persona in lockdown for days, so it can learn a resistance skill while burning incest to increase their stats. At rank 5, you will be able to fuse a persona at a higher level than your current level at the cost of thousands of yen. At rank 8, you can increase the amount of personas you fuse in an advanced fusion by fusing 4 or more personas. And at max rank, you can get a discount for the special treatment ability when fusing higher level personas. There are so many reasons why Caroline and Justine are improved upon as a confidant, as the newer additions to the Velvet Room also provide so many opportunities in creating more powerful personas. For one, the special treatment ability would usually be gained at the max rank perk when you fuse a level 51 persona in the vanilla game, and by the time you get to level 51, you should either be at the end of the 6th or 7th palace. In Royal, however, gaining this perk as early as rank 5 with a level 26 persona can offer so many advantages. So you could, theoretically, complete the entirety of their confidant as early as level 26, but only if you had enough yen to fuse the higher level personas, which is less than likely. And since Caroline and Justine are the only confidant who rank up without any time advancement, there should be no excuse to not max them out on your first playthrough. The second reason they are improved is the lockdown ability. The lockdown ability would offer a resistance skill to a persona with a couple of their 5 stats increased. In Royal, however, you can add incest, which will add specific stats to your personas, increasing their overall ability, and the effects of incest are doubled when you put a persona in lockdown during a fusion alarm. This could be one of the 3 methods in increasing your persona stats, while also gaining the all-powerful award in the Thieves' Den. And the third reason they are improved is because, in the original, you would always have to rely on fusing the right set of personas to get the exact persona and skill you need, which would require you to research online to figure out how to complete the Twin Warden's request. And while you still have to do that sometimes in Royal, Royal has the advantage of making blank cards more accessible so you can itemize a persona in the electric chair to gain the ability that is required for the request as an alternative. And while this alternative can be available in the vanilla version, it's not as accessible as it is in Royal, so it feels less restrictive in the Royal version. So you can either wait until late October to get the high counter card from one of Mishimo's Mementos requests, Or you could itemize the boner-wielding tiger during a fusion alarm to get a high counter skill card, a skill required for the last request. While Caroline and Justine can be a pain in the ass to rank up and will require grinding and researching on your phone, they are a lot less specific in how you go about your penal labor, and getting the special treatment perk earlier can be such a huge advantage in the latter part of the game. Just make sure you max them out before you get to the end of your 8th palace on December 24th. It may sound like a lot of work, but it's a lot more convenient in this version, and it's still very much worth it to work towards your rehabilitation.
Hey, are you laughing at us? Know your place, inmate!
Treasure demons are rare personas that may not fight in battle, but can be very beneficial in so many ways. Every single palace, except for Kamoshida's, has a treasure demon, and yes, this includes both the 8th and 3rd semester palace as well. They have a higher chance of appearing during a high security level, but not by much to be honest. And if you want these treasure demons to appear, you're best capturing them when you're about to steal the heart of your target when the security level is already through the roof. Or, the best method is when you use a treasure trap at the start of your infiltration, which can be crafted as early as the 4th palace with Morgana's 6th rank. Each treasure demon will have certain weaknesses, which is always best to look it up online. Capturing them can sometimes give you the lowest level persona in one of your arcanas, such as Regent with the Emperor Arcana, and defeating them will give you a ton of XP and money, so they are very worth your time. And if for whatever reason you missed out on a treasure demon during an entire palace, you can sometimes find them within mementos, especially on days with bad weather. There are a total of 9 different treasure demons, with Hope Diamond in the 4th Indiana Jones movie being the rarest. They can't be fused, so collect them all so you can 100% your Persona Registry and your Persona Compendium. Yuki Mishima of the Moon Arcana. You know what's one thing I hate in RPGs? Grinding. Now that's not to say that grinding can't be fun once in a while, but when you spend countless hours grinding just so you can beat a boss fight, it can get very, very repetitive. And while Persona 5 does a great job of making it feel like that grinding is optional, the game has so many advantages to reduce the amount of grinding you do. Case in point, Mishima. At rank 1, backup members will earn some EXP after battle. At rank 3, you can increase the EXP earned after battle. At rank 5, backup members will gain more EXP. At rank 7, you can greatly increase the amount of EXP earned after battle. And at max rank, all backup members will gain the exact same amount of EXP as current party members. Mishima was ranked as number 3 on my original countdown, and you can see why, even in Royal, he is top 5 easily. Being able to gain an extra bit of EXP can reduce the amount of grinding, and allowing backup members to earn some, if not all EXP, is such a huge relief. It's great because when RPGs don't allow party members to level up, it sucks and the grinding becomes more of a draining slog than something that you want to do. With Persona 5, thanks to Mishima's perks and the cognition change in Mementos, which is Royal exclusive, you can level up in no time. Okay, maybe not in no time, but your time grinding will be heavily reduced. And with the max rank perk, you can just stick to your favorite party members or the ones needed for the enemies with a particular weakness for more efficiency. As in the earlier part of the game, when you get Yusuke, you will need to balance out who becomes a backup member so that the characters stay neck to neck with each other. But once you get the max rank perk, it really doesn't matter who you have in the back lines or the front lines. Now, when it comes to Mishima, you will automatically gain rank 1 and 2 within the week after Kamoshida's fallout, so you will get the rank 1 perk before you even get Yusuke in your party. And despite the blue notes appearing out of Mishima, just like Yoshida, does not require a moon persona, as Mishima does not level up based on the correct responses you made during his confidant. but rather he levels up based on the mementos requests that he provides throughout the game and how much of them you have completed. He provides a total of 16 mementos requests, and you will need to complete a certain amount to level up his Confidant. If you completed one request, you can get the interaction for rank 3. And to get his max rank, you will need a total of 10 requests completed that are specifically given to you by him. Mishima is a great Confidant that I highly recommend maxing out. Not only because he makes grinding less tedious, but because you will get a certain get from him at the end of the game, which will provide you all the perks once you get rank 1 with him in New Game Plus. I'll talk more about these gifts later. I don't know who can hate Mishima, but I'm certainly not one of them. After all, we love the guy so much that we even help him go on a date with the beautiful Oya.
Yep, that would be me. Why don't you make your way over here and spill the deets about Shujin Academy?
Mamiya, I'm gonna get you for this.
Between September 1st to October 10th, the discount store will sell Phantom Thief merchandise, the most useful being the calling postcard, which restocks every Monday. You can buy this item up to 6 times in total, and also on September 25th, during the home shopping program on Sunday, you can get 3 more calling postcards with the Thief Fun set, which will arrive by Monday evening. But what are these calling postcards for, you may ask? Well, if you send a postcard through the mailbox that you find in Yongenjaya, you can increase your bond with any Confidant by 1 point. Sure, you may only be able to do this 9 times, and having a Persona of the Arcana doesn't increase the effects, but this can be a good way to deepen your bonds without having to spend time with them, just so you can get the up sign on their Confidant card. It's a good opportunity, and if you're at this point of the game, buy the call-in postcard every Monday. Your last chance will be on Monday, October 10th. Chihaya Mifune of the Fortune Arcana. Originally ranked as the second best Confidant, Chihaya Mifune offers some of the most useful perks, and she is thankfully even better in Royal, with 2 new additional abilities. Now, Chihaya takes the longest Confidant to start, as you have to give 5 days of your time just to start rank 1. The first interaction can be initiated as early as June 22nd, The second interaction will require you to have 100,000 yen, so make sure you get more than this amount during a Mementos trip or whenever you go to the metaverse. The third interaction will give you a Mementos request, and you must spend at least 1 day just to complete this Mementos request, along with hopefully several other requests that you've been saving up. And then on the 5th day, you prove your worth to her as you can start the Fortune Arcana. Despite how much of a pain it is for her confidant to start, her perks are very much worth the hassle and loads of money you will be spending. At rank 1, you can get a luck reading that will increase your growth rate of a selected social stat for 1 day. At rank 3, you can increase the amount of money you earn from battles in 1 day. At rank 5, you can deepen your bond with a confidant of your choice. At rank 7, you can get a full preview of every ability a confidant will give you. At rank 8, you can instantly cause a fusion alarm in the real world, while increasing the chances of a fusion alarm happening after battles in the metaverse. And at max rank, the best responses will be highlighted during a confidant interaction to guide you in deepening your bond further with them. Chihiya's perks are some of the most useful perks in the game, but without a doubt, the most expensive, but very much worth it as you can have all readings done once per day. And the readings can be done during the daytime or nighttime, with the exception being on rainy days. The luck reading is useful for certain activities, but I seem to find that this doesn't increase your stats when doing confidant interactions or reading a book. I wouldn't be able to tell you what activities this reading can be used for exactly, but one example where this perk can be useful is when you go for the Sunday drinks. You first find out what they're serving, ask for an increase in that stat with the luck reading perk, and you can use the drink stand to gain 2 social stat points instead of 1. Of course, if you're able to spend the extra money for it, but it's very much worth it. The Money Reading perk can be used just before you jump into the metaverse, and this is perfect if you plan a long day in Mementos or a one-day infiltration route in a palace. However, you can only gain an extra amount of money if you end a battle in an all-out attack. The Affinity Reading, originally gained at rank 7 in the vanilla version, is without a doubt the most useful perk, not just with her Confidant, but in both versions of Persona 5. Throughout the game, you will need to spend time with a Confidant to get the blue notes, as a certain amount is required to rank them up. And while having a Persona under their Arcana can save a lot of time, the Affinity Reading can deepen your bond further with them without wasting a time slot, potentially saving you dozens of days bonding with a Confidant that you can't rank up with. This perk is so useful that I highly recommend using it every day. Not once in a while, but every single day, so you can get the extra amount of time in the latter part of the game. While the Call-It Postcard can help, you can only buy that up to 9 times, but with the Affinity Reading, you can increase your bond once per day for 5,000 yen each. And if you're lucky, you could finish all of your nighttime confidants before the end of the 6th palace, and you could finish all of your daytime confidants before infiltrating the 7th palace, giving you lots of time for Jastin drinks or training in the gym. Just don't use the Affinity Reading perk with Yoshida or Mishima. Now, the Special Fate Reading is interesting, as in the vanilla version, you would only gain a portion of this at the 5th rank, and the actual ability at your max rank. And while it's cool that you can see every ability that a Confidant can give you, the problem is that not only is it a huge waste of money, but it doesn't actually help you progress through the game. This perk is obviously designed for first-time players so they can figure out who to max out before the end of their playthrough. However, it's information that you can find for free on the internet or through videos like this, but I also understand avoiding spoilers, especially for the new Confidants. So while I consider the Fate Reading perk useless, I can definitely see some people using it to figure out who to bond with more. The Celestial Reading is Royal exclusive, as it ties into the Royal exclusive Fusion Alarm. It is quite an expensive reading, but activating this perk can instantly cause a fusion alarm in the real world, and when you go to the metaverse, the fusion alarm will activate more frequently, usually after only 2 or 3 battles. And if you know the effects of a fusion alarm, then you know that this perk will be very useful for long runs in the metaverse. And finally, we get the Special Bond Reading, a Royal exclusive perk that highlights what dialogue option will deepen your bond with a Confidant the most for one day. This can be used for 2 Confidants in a row, one in the daytime and one in the night. And while this can definitely be helpful, the downside is that it does waste a lot of money and it can take you emotionally out of a Confidant story, so your responses may come off less genuine. And to be honest, I really only used this perk once just to capture this footage. So that's 6 different readings in total, which can be used once per day each. I can let you be the judge on which ones will be the most useful, but I will definitely say that you want to bond with Chihaya for the Affinity Reading the most. The sooner you get it, the sooner you can bond with Confidants more efficiently without wasting your time slots. Whether you believe in fortune telling or not, I can assure you, Chihaya is no ripoff. She is hands down the second best nighttime Confidant in Persona 5.
I will no longer be swayed by names like monster or maiden. I am simply a fortune teller who provides advice to people with broken spirits, so that they will have conviction and face their future without getting pushed around by fate. That's the fate I've chosen for myself.
I'll be honest, I really didn't bother with the darts game at the Penguin Sniper till the last week of the 6th Palace, when I was out of Confidants to bond with during the evening. At first I thought it was just to increase your baton pass level, but apparently it turned out more useful than I was expecting. You can choose who to play darts with, and 2 other random team members will come. When this happens, you can have a second player step in to play with you. So not only can you increase your baton pass with 2 party members if you play the game correctly, but you can rank up a party member's baton pass from rank 1 to 3 instantly. To do this, you have to let them have the winning shot at the end when the score is low, and if you choose the right dialogue option to make them win the game, then they will be able to have the winning shot, and this can get them from rank 1 to 3 instantly. And you can do this twice in one day, saving you one extra day of having to come here. And on top of that, the 3 party members who come here will increase their bond with you by 1 point. You can also gain proficiency depending on your overall skill, and yes, you can even have Morgana play as well. Ryuji Sakamoto of the Chariot Arcana. Okay, if going from the 9th best confidant to the 3rd best confidant doesn't give Ryuji a girlfriend, I don't know what will. Anyway, Ryuji is without a doubt the best party member for multiple reasons. 1, he is one of your first 3 confidants that you bond with during the 2 weeks for Kamoshida's Palace. 2, he is the only party member that requires no social stats to rank him up. 3, he is the only party member to automatically gain a rank 2 baton pass when you're first introduced to the darts at the Penguin Sniper. 4, he is without a doubt the best party member for physical attack abilities and completely OP when he gains the charge ability at level 63. And 5, his 7th ranked perk. At rank 5, you can gain a royal exclusive ability called Stealth Dash, which makes you less likely to be spotted by shadows when dashing. And at rank 7, you get the Insta-Kill, where you automatically defeat an underleveled shadow without engaging in a battle. And this ability is why Ryuji is the 3rd best confidant and party member. The Insta-Kill is also in the vanilla version as well, but there's a major difference. In vanilla, if you ambush an underleveled enemy, you have a chance of obtaining a persona from that shadow instantly, but with the hindrance of being able to gain experience points, money, and items unless you do a non-ambush attack. In Persona 5 Royal, ambushing an enemy, either by stealth or grappling hook, does not trigger the insta-kill, so you do have that option to go for an ambush attack and still fight them as usual. However, to trigger the insta-kill, you have to dash into an underleveled shadow where...
Show me your true form!
Holy crap! Yes, not only do you get a persona from that shadow like you do in the vanilla version, but you also gain the money, experience points, and items without having to engage in a battle. And if you already have the mask of said persona, you can gain the experience points from that persona without it going to waste. And since this will count as going into a battle, you can still trigger the fusion alarm as a faster method. This ability completely obliterates the difficulty of the game. This is such a useful skill in not only gaining persona so you can fill up your persona compendium, but to overpower your party members. So you could use the skill to get through the floors of mementos quickly to get to the stamps, and with the change in cognition, you can gain more money and experience points than usual. With this ability, you can dash through most of the later palaces and only have to engage in battles with mini-bosses and main bosses, and mementos requests. So if you're not a fan of one-day infiltration routes or long runs through mementos, the insta-kill can speed up your progress in an already long enough game as is. However, for as extremely useful as this ability is, it is argued by fans to be a bad perk, as in, it's way too overpowered and completely ruins the experience, to which I can fully understand. The drawback with this perk is that it takes away any challenge or severely reduces the challenge, but that's not really a consequence on the game's part, as it doesn't hold you back from leveling up. It does reduce the amount of grinding, it does make getting all rewards easier, it does save on your health and SP and make buying drinks from the vending machines now useless, and overall, it just saves hours of your real life because, goddammit, you should be doing dishes right now, my fellow viewer. But in the end, regardless if the insta-kill is overpowered, Ryuji is still, without a doubt, the best and most efficient party member to max out on your first playthrough. And if offensively written gay stereotypes can get into Ryuji so easily, I'm sure with his royal exclusive abilities, he can find himself a girlfriend, no problem.
This is like, one of those strikes of good luck.
A stroke of good luck.
Why would it be a strike? Who would protest having good luck?
One of the things I hate in this game is how they downgraded the gift system. In the original, you could give the female confidants who can't rank up a gift so you can deepen your bond further with them. In Royal, however, they quote-unquote update this by allowing you to give gifts to your male confidants as well that you can never be in a relationship with anyway, but downgraded by not allowing you to give a gift unless they are unable to rank up. So most of the time, you will not be able to give your confidants a gift. I kid you not, I only gave 2 gifts away to deepen my bond with a confidant, and one of the rewards in the Thieves' Den is to give 10 gifts to your confidants. So what, do I have to play this 5 times to get the reward? Well, no. Even after you've maxed out a confidant, you can still spend time with them and always give them a gift afterwards. And using the same save and reload method that I mentioned before, you can complete this reward without ever having a save file where you wasted a time on a maxed out confidant. Such a shame that Ryuji will never remember our romantic date together. Sadeo Kawakami of the Temperance Arcana. Kawakami is who many fans, including myself in my original countdown, consider to be the best confidant in Persona 5 Vanilla. And in Royal, well, she's still the best nighttime confidant, so this should tell you just how useful her abilities will be. Anyway, Kawakami is available as a confidant the sooner you complete the second palace. The Operation Maid Watch event is what triggers the start of Kawakami's confidant, as she turns out to be the maid that you hired out of pressure from an obvious straight Ryuji. Seriously, Ryuji, that line is like so assumptuous. This event can happen as early as May 24th, so completing the second palace right away when it's available is definitely a high recommendation, as Kawakami has some of the most useful perks in the game. So useful that I highly recommend bonding with her every single time she's available. At rank 1, Kawakami will occasionally allow you to slack off in class. At rank 3, you can request Kawakami to make coffee or do laundry for you. At rank 5, you can gain free time in other classes with a distraction from Kawakami. At rank 6, you can request Kawakami to make curry or craft infiltration tools for you. And at max rank, you can request a free special massage from Kawakami after a day in the metaverse, allowing you to do activities outside of LeBlanc and to bond with confidants at night. Where do I begin with Kawakami? Her perks are freaking awesome. The ability to slack off in class offers Joker extra time slots to craft infiltration tools, read a book, listen to the lecture anyway for a knowledge stat, or fall asleep for a random social stat increase depending on the dream, which I honestly don't recommend choosing. And this can be triggered on 5 different days for the rank 1 perk and 9 days for the rank 5 perk, which is a total of 14 extra time slots. The ability to gain extra time in class is a huge advantage, so you can increase your social stats, read every book in the game, or craft an infiltration tool you desperately need. And since you have more than 40 books in the game, this is such a great perk, so make sure you always have more than a few unread books on you at all times. And the housekeeping services to make coffee, curry, infiltration tools, or do your laundry for you will help you get a nighttime activity done while you go and do something else. So you can go get naked with a celebrity that treats the fan thieves like crap while she makes bombs on a school night. Totally not suspicious there. And the amount of infiltration tools that you would normally be able to make yourself, she will craft at only half of what you request her. And it should be noted that almost every interaction with Kawakami will cost 5,000 yen per visit, and this includes her doing the housekeeping abilities. However, once you get the 9th rank, you can request the housekeeping services for free. And when you get the max rank, you will get what is considered the most useful perk in the vanilla version of the game, allowing Joker to do an activity at night after a day in the metaverse. In the vanilla game, Joker would be too exhausted to do any nighttime activities, so you would always have to call it a night after you go in the metaverse. In Royal, however, while going into the metaverse is taxing, you are still able to do activities inside of LeBlanc, but you would be unable to leave the cafe or bond with any confidants, Sojiro included. So when you get the special massage, you can have enough energy to do whatever you want at night, which means you can bond with nighttime confidants after a day in the metaverse without wasting time in LeBlanc. So regardless of how creeped out you are by the concept of your homeroom teacher being a maid and potential girlfriend, Kawakami is the #1 confidant that you want to max out as soon as possible, at least before the summer break starts. Why? Well, because while she can be available during the summertime, her Mementos request after rank 8 can only be activated while you're still attending school. And after you complete the 9th rank, you will need an extra day at school to show that Kawakami's health has improved, which is a cutscene required to activate her max rank interaction. This confused me at first when I did my 3rd playthrough of the vanilla game, as I couldn't max her out during my entire summer break. But you have to try to complete Kawakami before the summer break, and if you fail to do so before November 17th, you will be missing out on one of the most useful perks in the game. Also, another roadblock is that you will need level 3 guts to start her confidant, so prioritize your time on getting your guts up to level 3 as soon as possible, because Kawakami is the #1 confidant you just can't miss out on. Although, Kawakami is #2 in the Royal version. So the question is, who can exceed as the best confidant in Persona 5 Royal? Well, let's find out after one last tip.
I was so happy when you shared your feelings the other day. I finally realized how I felt. But I'm a teacher, and you're my student.
Now, if you haven't completed your first playthrough, you're probably wondering, why should I care if I max out all my confidants? Is there an award in doing so, other than awards in the Thieves' Den? And the answer is, yes! There is a huge advantage after you've been in the game. Once completed, you can carry over certain progress to your New Game Plus playthrough, and one of the items that carries over is farewell gifts that you get from your maxed out confidants when you go to visit them for the last time. And these gifts are immediately put into effect when you get rank 1 with that confidant in your New Game Plus playthrough. Here are the following gifts and the perks that they offer. Makoto Nijima will give you the Buchi Calculator, which will unlock Shadow Factorization, usually gained at rank 7. Haru Akumura will give you a Dyed Handkerchief, which unlocks Soil Improvement, usually gained at rank 7. On Takamaki will give you a fashion magazine, which unlocks the rank 4 perk, Sexy Technique, and rank 5 perk, Crocodile Tears. Futaba Sakura will give you her Promise List, which unlocks rank 7's Treasure Reboot ability, and rank 2's Memento Scan. Sadeo Kawakami will give you an unlimited service so the special massage can be done at the start of her first rank as opposed to the max rank, definitely one of the reasons to max her out. Tai Takemi will give you a dog tag, which will allow you access to all items sold at the clinic, but this doesn't include the discount. Chihaya Mifune will give you a Fortune Tarot card, which will unlock all of her readings, except for Celestial Reading. Ichiko Oya will give you her interview notes, which unlocks all of her mostly useless perks. Hifume Togo will give you a Kosha piece, which unlocks the 9th rank perk, Toryu. Ryuji Sakamoto will give you a Sports Watch, which unlocks his rank 6 ability, Harrison Recovery, and rank 4 ability, Stealth Dash. Morgana will give you his Scarf, which unlocks the rank 5 ability to pickpocket an enemy during a melee attack. Sojiro Sakura will give you his recipe notes so that way you can make Master Coffee and Master Curry from the beginning. Yuki Mishima will give you his documentary plans in which all XP bonuses are unlocked, both gaining more XP and backup members gaining an equal amount of XP as current party members. Gecko the Gecko will give you a Gecko pin in which all customization perks are unlocked. The Twin Wardens will give you a cell key in which all Velvet Room features are unlocked. Yusuke Kitagawa will give you his painting, Desire and Hope, which unlocks all skill card duplication perks. Toranosuke Yoshida will give you his old fountain pen, which unlocks all of his negotiation perks. Shinya Oda will give you a gun controller, which unlocks all of his gun techniques. and Sai Nijima will give you her business card, which does absolutely nothing. So there's 19 out of 23 confidants who will give you gifts, as long as you get the true ending, third semester included or not. The other 4 confidants you won't be able to get gifts from for story-related reasons. Looking at all these gifts, you can tell that some will be very damn useful or a great convenience in your New Game Plus playthrough. So if by chance you didn't max out all confidants, which is 100% possible on a first playthrough, these gifts will definitely give you a huge advantage in doing so, while being able to do more that you couldn't do before. And now, the best confidant in Persona 5 Royal. Takatu Maruki of the Counselor Arcana. Originally I had Maruki at number 7, but the more I thought about how necessary his confidant is, the more I realized he has to be number 1. The reason? Because Maruki, who is a Royal exclusive character, is the number 1 confidant that you are required to max out in order to unlock the 3rd semester, an extra palace, complete the second half of Kusume's confidant, and 100% certain aspects of the game. Takatu Maruki first appears on the 3rd day of your midterm exams on May 13th. He is hired to provide counseling to the students of Shujin Academy after the abuses caused by Kamoshida, and right away he takes an immediate interest in you, An, and Ryuji. And on this exact day, you can get 2 ranks with him automatically, and then rank 3 and up whenever he's available near the nurse's office, which is like the only time you ever go to the practice building aside from the one day that Shio missed the swimming pool. At rank 2, Joker has a chance of recovering from a status ailment instantly when affected. At rank 3, Joker has a chance of using charge and concentrate at the start of a battle. At rank 5, Joker has a chance of recovering some SP when his SP is low. Rank 7 increases the chances of the flow ability happening. Rank 9 increases the chances of the Detox X ability to happen when affected by a status ailment. And at max rank, the amount of SP recovery increases with the Mindfulness ability. And spending time with Maruki can give you an extra 5 SP increase and a snack. Outside of really thought-provoking conversations that I absolutely loved with this new confidant, these perks are definitely very useful in battle. Even though they activate by chance, the sooner you get these perks, the better advantage you'll have in battle. But Maruki is not number 1 because of his perks, he is number 1 because he unlocks the 3rd semester, which provides the player with a ton of opportunities, other than just more hours of playtime. While I consider Kawakami and Chiheya's perks a lot more useful when it comes to maxing out your confidants and social stats, both of them are nighttime confidants, so they don't affect your time when bonding with Maruki in the daytime. And to be as spoiler-free as possible, the 3rd semester will give you an extra 3 weeks to do whatever you haven't done in the normal playthrough. As I said, the 3rd semester is required to max out Kusume's confidant, so right away, the top 3 confidant awards in the Thieves' Den are unobtainable without the 3rd semester to max out Kusume. But not just that, you need the 3rd semester to get the last 40 stamps and mementos, you need the 3rd semester to complete 4 mementos requests, you need the 3rd semester to get an extra interaction with your maxed out party members for a more powerful skill, and between maxing out Kusume and getting extra skills with your party members, this will be your best opportunity to increase your party member stats or Futaba Sunday skills at the Jazz Gen. Duplicate powerful skill cards, max out some confidants you didn't max out, train in the gym for extra HP and SP, get 100,000 points doing fishing, fight the Reaper 5 times, do the Senpai in Life award at the end of Mementos, work up your Persona stats to get the All-Powerful award, etc, etc. You will be given at least over a week to do some of this extra stuff if you maxed out all your confidants, while completing what you need to do for the extra palace. As you can see, while Chiheya and Kawakami are useful in decreasing time wasted, Maruki provides you with more time to do side stuff and improve your party members along with your own stats, and most of it won't go to waste as some of what you will do will carry over to New Game Plus. So yeah, Maruki is the best confidant because it's impossible to 100% the game without him. Anything you should know when it comes to maxing them out? Yes, you can get Maruki up to rank 5 before the summer break, but you'll have to wait until September 20th to continue his Confidant at rank 6, and you gotta get him up to rank 9 before November 17th, but you should be able to do this before the deadline of the 5th Palace. Earlier in the game, you are told that he will be here till November, and once it's November, you will be reminded that he will leave on the 18th, so the game encourages you to max him out, and for a very damn good reason. And once you get up to rank 9, his max rank is automatically triggered during lunchtime on the 18th, and once you've maxed him out, the 3rd semester is officially unlocked. So yes, Maruki is without a doubt the best Confidant because he is mandatory to get the Royal exclusive content past the original final boss fight from the vanilla game. With more opportunities to pass time and a chance to get 10 girlfriends instead of 9, yes, Maruki is the best and most recommended Confidant that you must max out in Persona 5 Royal.
Well, I was informed of certain students before beginning my tenure here. Those that had, previous interactions with Mr. Kamoshida. It must have been especially tough for you after having just transferred here. A castle?
You idiot!
And wow, this is without a doubt the most information overload video I have ever made. But it was a pleasure to do this, and hopefully this video can be a good guide for you when maxing out all Confidants. And if you have any tips on maximizing your opportunities in the game, leave it in the comments down below. It is indeed 100% possible to max out all Confidants and social stats without a New Game Plus playthrough. We're reading every book in the game, playing all video games, ranking baton passes up to 3, technical damage up to 4, Futaba Sunday skills, all mementos requests, training on the dummy in the gym, leveling up to 99, and so much more. And when you do New Game Plus, it can be a great opportunity to do what you haven't done in your first playthrough. Like for me, I'm gonna friend zone all the ladies, and I only did 2 outings with the twins, so I'm definitely gonna take the advantage in New Game Plus to see them all. And if you're someone who unfortunately could not get all Confidants or ranks maxed on your first playthrough, don't beat yourself up over it. When I did my first playthrough in the vanilla version, I only maxed out 6 of the optional Confidants, so I only got 10 out of 21 maxed out. And with the farewell gifts and the knowledge and tips that you've gained from this video, hopefully you will be able to max out all Confidants on your New Game Plus playthrough. And if you want to attempt to max out all 23 Confidants on a fresh New Game file, go at it. If I could do it on my first try, so can you. Persona 5 is a very special game, with not just a unique social simulation system, but it has very thought-provoking stories and very relatable dilemmas that I like looking back on, and even seeing other gamers' reactions to certain story elements. A lot of the themes hit close to home, and I love spending every minute playing both versions of this fantastic game. Persona is held deep in the hearts of so many players, and for a very damn good reason. And I, and so many other players, will always remember the amazing and heart-wrenching moments spent with the Phantom Thieves.